Hello, Ralph Davella back. Today's lesson number 8 in the beginning series of lessons. So, just to show you, we'll be doing these lessons straight out of my book. Now, if you have the book, it's great. You can play along with me in the book, but you don't need to have the book because what I do is I copy the complete lessons on every lesson. And I put the page that we're going to be playing, I put it up on the screen. This way you can see it and you can follow along. So you don't have to have the book, you could just follow along with the lessons that I put up on the screen. If you have the book, I'd probably make it a little bit easier. But I think you could do it either way. So last week in lessons we did lesson 7 of course, and the week before we did lesson 6. Now in lesson 6 we had a nice review. So of all the things that we learned so far. So don't be afraid to go back, look at lesson 6 again, it might be good for you. And then on lesson 8 that we're going to do now, you can just put it on every time you practice, and you can just play along. I'll play the lesson and you can just play along with me. Alright, so let's get started with lesson 8. Alright, this is lesson 8 up on the screen. So I'm just going to read the first paragraph, then we'll get right to playing. First paragraph says, Lesson 8 introduces a new exercise called the chromatic scales. In this lesson, 8 notes are introduced for the first time. So I will teach you in this lesson how you play an 8th note. Lesson 8 continues to build, and you read the rest of it yourself. It continues to build up and continues to build down. So let's get started with exercise 8A, the lip buzz, which we always do, and then we do the mouthpiece buzz. So we'll get started with our warm-ups. We'll do them together. Alright, let's get going. Just a reminder, always read everything. It's not a lot of writing. It only take you a few minutes. You keep reading it over and over again as you do the lessons, and and then you end up memorizing it without even trying. Alright, let's get started. Let me mention one other thing before we get started. Don't forget to keep your valves oiled, because if the valves are sticky and they're put your valve oil on there, they're not going up and down right. You're not going to be able to play right. So why make it harder for yourself? Keep the valves oiled. Some trumpets you got to oil them every day, some every other day. Sometimes you can get away with a few days, but don't be afraid to oil. Let's get started. We'll warm up the same way we always do. First thing we're going to do is the lip buzz. So you'll see right under 8A, those notes are recorded notes followed by a half note and followed by a 4-beat rest. So let's just do it together. We're going to do the lips only. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, when we do that, sometimes it comes out better than other times. It didn't come out that great for me that time, actually. But the trick is to continue blowing the air when you do it. So you're just interrupting the note actually with the tongue. So you're playing 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, then next we're going to do the mouthpiece buzz. I'm just going to play the note on the trumpet first to get the G. Now, you don't have to play the G, I just want you to do the mouthpiece buzz, but let's for a reference point, I'm going to play the G on the trumpet. Okay, now we're going to do that in the mouthpiece. Two. Yeah, you can do that once, you can do it twice. Either way is okay. Alright. Next we're going to move on to the next exercise, which is exercise 8C, which is the 6 notes. So hold on a second, I want to put that up on the screen, and I want to talk about those 6 notes a little bit. Alright, so on these 6 notes, I talked about this before, but this is your these 6 notes, which are here, are probably your main exercise, your foundational exercise for now, and not only for now, into the future, and for as long as you play, actually. So let's just go over a little bit about it again. I know we've done it before, but it's important, so let's go over it again a little bit. Play these exercises using the same skills as the previous 6 notes exercise, which came before this in lesson 5, lesson 6. Tell you, form the embouchure by saying M. Bring the trumpet to the lips. Take a nice deep breath as if you were yawning. Count to 4 before playing. See how there's a 4-beat note rest there? And that's the timing. Timing is important when you're playing. To start the note, say 2. The trumpet with the lips touching together, blowing steady air through the trumpet when you play this exercise. This allows you to play the note for long periods of time. All right, and this is important now, because now we're getting stronger, becoming a stronger trumpet player, and we have more endurance now, or beginning to get it at least. Once you start playing this exercise, leave the trumpet on your lips to the completion of the exercise, including the rest in between notes. This exercise progresses up in half steps from the G to the C. So it starts on the G, ends up on the C. And then finish reading 7 and read 8, see what the goals are. But you might get tired at some point where the notes don't come out anymore. So you're going to take it off your lips. You're going to rest for 15, 20 seconds, put it back on, and continue from there. The goal is eventually, or maybe even right now, I don't know where you're at. Everybody's different. Some people take a couple months to get to this point. Some people take a couple years to get to this point. So we're going to try to play this exercise to the end, go back to the beginning. Could you see the repeat signs? And you play it over again. If you could do the whole thing without taking it off your lips, and you're getting quite a workout that way. We learn things as we go along besides just playing the trumpet. We learn a little bit about music. And we've seen this before, the repeat signs. Whenever you see a repeat sign, you go back to the repeat sign that you've seen before. We see this note equals 60. That's 60 beats a count on the metronome, and I'm going to show you that now too. And we count 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and you hold this whole note for 4 beats. So half note 2 beats, half note 2 beats, whole note 4 beats. And it goes up in half steps. So that's a sharp, that raises up a half step, then an A sharp raises the A up a half step, or half a pitch, then the B to the C. So let's get started with this exercise. It's very important. And I'm going to set the metronome on 60 actually on this. And if you don't have a metronome, of course you don't have to do it. But keep in mind that 60 on the metronome is 1 beat per second. So it's a slow speed. Okay, the 6 notes. Like I said, let me show you my metronome that I have. This is a really old one. They make different ones now. So this is a really old metronome. They still make them that they look like this too. And you'll see it has different numbers on here. 160 all the way down to 40, which is over here. And then show you something. Listen. Hear how slow that is? And all the way up to high speed like that. So mainly for this one, we're going to set it on number 60. You see that, number 60? And that's the speed that we're going to play. Put it back here. And let's play it. Now we're going to do the interval of the second. These are very important. This is a foundational exercise. So you're going to follow the same rules, form the embouchure, take a nice breath, count to 4 before you start playing, and all that. And the things that I want to show you now that you don't have to be too concerned with right now, but over the next couple of weeks, start thinking about it, or you can even think about it when you're looking at it without even playing it. So we're saying because we're tonguing the first note, slurring that note, and slurring that note. Now, when we get up to the E, instead of thinking we're thinking E. So you got the D and then the E, and we're thinking E, and then we're going back down to the D. So now when we start on the E, we're thinking E, and even when we go up to the F, when I say E, we're thinking that with the pronunciation E, not the note E. So we're thinking E because the E puts the tongue in the right place to play notes in the upper register. So anything above the D, we're thinking E. All right, so E, F, G, no matter how you're thinking E, it puts the tongue in the correct place, helps you play higher in the higher register. So let's play this one together. Now again, I'm going to tell you now, you just play it up to where you can get up to. You may only get up to the C and you have to take it off. It's okay. Rest 10, 15, 20 seconds, put it back on and continue from where you left off. See how high you can go. Maybe you can get to this last one. Maybe you can't today, maybe 7 days from now, if you do it every day, you get to that, or 7 weeks from now. But you'll get there. It's just a matter of doing it and building your embouchure muscles. All right, let's do this together now. I'm going to use the metronome again, and this time instead of 60, I'm going to set it on 80. So that's 80. So let's hear it. Okay, let's do it to that 80. Like I say, if you don't have a metronome, it's okay. Just gotta do it slowly. All right. All right, now I think on that last E, the last one on the E, I didn't hit the note perfect, but that's okay. Same with you. If you don't hit that note perfect, you just try to get it. And the idea is to try to play it, whether you hit the note perfect or not. Next time you play it, try to hit it better. That's all. That's the interval exercise. Let me shut this off. There's a good chance you're gonna want to take it off and reset it. Don't do that. Leave it on. Leave the same setting. Breathe in through the nose. Go as far as you can, whether it's only the C or the B. Can't go any farther. Your note doesn't come out. Then you take it off. Rest for 15, 20, 25 seconds. You put it back on and continue and see how far you make it. Eventually, we'll get farther and farther. These exercises also progress in the book, as you'll see. This is the developing scale exercise. Let's go over that a little bit. Okay, refer to page 21, exercise 5Es for the directions on how to play the developing scales. So we're going to talk about a key signature a little bit. So when you look at the beginning of the music and you see no sharps or flats, usually that means you're in the key of C. If you see one sharp, that means you're in the key of G. These are things that you memorize, you learn later. But we're going to start learning things as we go along, and you put it in your mind. So this is in the key of G, and it's starting on G also. And what it means when you see an F sharp, let's read this. In this exercise, the key signature shows an F sharp, which means the music is in the key of G. This means every time the music shows the F, you play F sharp instead. Example. Let's see where an F is. Here's an F up here. Now, because it's in the key signature, you're not generally going to see the sharp next to the F, because you're just going to see the F. Now, I don't let this confuse you. The reason that I wrote the F sharp in there is because I want you to remember that F sharp is in this key signature. I want you to play the F sharp, not the F. You would play the F sharp, not the F, even if that wasn't there, because it's in the key signature. So F sharp is in the key signature. Every time you run across an F, well, even if it was the next note down, which is on that line, that would be an F. That would be an F sharp. All right. So I only wrote it in the music as a courtesy, so you get used to the sound of playing the G scale. Because what this is the G scale only is the G scale basically. So again, let's bang the valves down. Go over a little bit here. You know, bang the valves down. So try not to push the valves down real slow. Try to get the valves down and back up for the next note. And again, when we're going up here, getting high, we're getting to an E. Anything above an E, we're thinking E as our syllable that we're thinking. All right, we did that in the lesson before. So keep that in mind. And let's play this one together. All right, let's do the developing scale exercise. Yeah, at home, if you have a metronome, you can set it. Of course, it won't do you much good until you get these fingerings down right and you get pretty confident how you're playing it. So we'll play a little on the slower side. We'll play it around 80, something like that. Well, I'm not going to set the metronome. 3. Two, three. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's the whole exercise. I don't expect you to be able to play it really long with me that easily. So you practice it on your own and you'll get better and better. Don't forget to play the F sharp, not the F, because the F sharp is in the key signature. Alright, let's get on to the next exercise. This is the last exercise in lesson number 8. So this says we're preparing for the next study, the 8 notes in the chromatic scale exercise. Now I'm going to start teaching you how to play 8 notes. So really what this page is doing is preparing you. You read this page, we're preparing you to be able to play these 8 notes. Alright, so let's look at this. Repetition is the key for learning music. If you can do an exercise right away, keep it. And it will surely come to you in time if you can't play an exercise right away. I'm sorry. Perseverance is the key to acquiring all the skills needed to perform these skills. All right, so we're going to do these chromatic scales. The chromatic scales is built on half steps, which is the shortest distance in terms of pitch from one note to the next note. The chromatic scale exercise will cover all the notes in the fingerings, from the low F sharp below the staff, all the way up to the high C and above that. Okay, so learning to play 8 notes. Here we go. So far we played whole notes, we played quarter notes, and we know that a whole note equals 4 beats, half note equals 2 beats, quarter note equals 1 beat. Next we will learn the value of the 8th note as shown at the bottom of this page. To understand the concept of playing 8 notes, think of dividing a quarter note in half. When you divide a quarter note in half, it equals 2/8 notes. Therefore, 2/8 notes equals 1/4 note. So we're playing 2 notes in the space of 1/4 note. So if this was a quarter note, go down to here, ta, 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 ta. Let's just take one of them. Ta, 2/8 notes, 1, 2, equals 1/4 note. Let's play the chord. Let's do the quarter note again. Ta. Now 2/8 notes equal 1/4 note. So it's 1 on the downbeat, 1 on the upbeat, which equals 1. Ta 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 ta. You see how you get 2 notes to fit that space of 1/4 beat. 2/8 notes equals 1/4 beat. I know I'm saying it over and over, but I feel as though that's how you learn it. Third, if you have a metronome, set it at 60. So we'll work this with the metronome. Just let me sing it to you right now. Ta. So 4/4 notes, then we're going to do all 8 notes. Ta 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 ta. All right, let's move on to this next page here, which is the study that we're going to do. First, we're going to practice this example. The downbeat and upbeat. Dot, 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 dot. So this is down, dot, dot, up. Dot, 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 dot. Alright? And we'll repeat it. So we'll play that first. Then we're going to do it playing the chromatic scale, which is not going to be easy for you. But you're going to practice these notes and practice as slow as you need to practice it in order to get the fingers down so you'll be able to play them in 8th notes. And it's not an easy study, but you can do it, and we've got to start somewhere. So let's start with this, and then I'm just going to play that so you can hear whether you can follow along yet or not. It doesn't matter. If you can, good. If not, you work it on your own. All right, let's do it now. I'm going to set the metronome on 50. Which is slow. It's actually hard to, when it's slow, it's actually just as hard as it is trying to keep time as when you're doing it fast. Let's do it. This way you can hear it. Let me put it a little closer. Maybe this is important that you hear this in this one. And all I mean don't have to do with the metronome, but I'm just trying to teach you. We're going to do that first line where all the notes are the same, just the G. So 1 on the downbeat, 1 on the upbeat. So instead of playing quarters, ta, 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 ta. We're playing 8 notes, so 2 notes and 1 beat. Ta, 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 ta. Alright, we're going to do it. I'm going to do a little softer because if I play too loud, I can't hear the metronome. Okay, so that's it. That's what you need to practice. You can just practice those straight without changing fingerings. This way you get the timing, because once you add the fingerings in, if you're not real familiar with them, then it gets confusing. That's what we're going to shut this off. And we're going to do actually exercise 8H now, the chromatic scale. So, again. Okay, so that's it. So that concludes lesson 8, and we're well on our way. And we're at the point where you probably have to try to play a song already, I don't know. But next week in lesson 9, which are 12 lessons altogether for the beginning lessons. So hang in there. Don't quit. Stay in there. You only have lesson 9, 10, 11, and 12 to go. And you'll be completed as your beginning lessons. So next week in lesson 9, we're going to include a song The song is written out for you. It's written out for you a couple different ways, and we're gonna play a song next week, and you'll be surprised that I think you'll surprise yourself when you do go to play it, because this accumulates and you do learn. And sometimes you think you're not, you get frustrated a little bit maybe, but just hang in and we'll keep doing it, keep practicing, and in the next week or the week after, I'll get to it, and we'll learn lesson 9. All right, thank you for watching, and see you soon.